Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel where it's my opinion or no opinion at all. Scottalicious McFabulous here, and I hope that you are feeling Percy.
Give me my times. Give me my times.
And today we are going to be getting into the nitty gritty. The top things that Coach itself seriously needs to change as a brand, especially if they plan on going into the high-end luxury market, which they are definitely attempting to push into. But as it currently stands, they have a plethora of things they really need to work on. From quality control issues to pricing people out and some incredibly bizarre pricing choices for the Coach Re-Loved program. So we got a lot to cover and we are going to get right into it.
I said, I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Now y'all know exactly what time it is. It's time to get Percy with the top things that Coach really needs to change as a handbag luxury brand. And this is not an easy video for me because Coach is personally my favorite handbag brand, and they are the #1 brand I like to thrift for. They're generally the first brand I'm sifting through for new releases, and I seriously have a very deep love for what the legacy of Coach really stands for and what they really have standing behind them. So we got like the plethora of collections from past, such as like gloved hand leather, 90s bags, to cotton canvas based signature cards in the 2000s. Like, they've really played with a lot, and quality has definitely fluctuated quite a bit. And I mean, like, we've gone from really good quality to so-so quality to back to really great quality, and now we're kind of sitting at like probably the lowest point in the quality department on specific items, and for me that's really sad. Coach is hands down my favorite brand, and for them to be making these sort of moves is kind of shady, especially when prices are increasing. So we got massive price increases across the board. We all know that price increases do happen. It is inevitable with absolutely everything in the world. Candies used to be 5 cents, now they're 25 cents, and so on. And so luxury and handbags, they don't necessarily they don't exclude from what an actual capitalist market tends to do. But what's happened is Coach has increased prices while kind of dialing it back in the quality department on quite a few different things. Mostly that comes to mind is gloved hand leather. There is some gloved hand leather pieces in their repertoire currently that are very lackluster, even comparatively to just last year's releases, or even 5 years ago. And it's really crappy to see because you do see some really cute styles, but once you get your hands on them, you see the price tag. So like the Soho shoulder bag, like that is something I really do want, but the leather isn't matching what I want it to. It's not even comparable to some of the legacy pieces from, I believe it was 2018. I have gloved hand leather from almost every decade, I think minus the 70s and 60s. And currently in 2024, we probably have some of the weakest gloved hand leather available, and I'm not understanding why, because in all honesty, with price increases, with just how Coach technically is as a legacy brand, we should be getting some good quality gloved hand leather. But it seems like they've kind of pushed quality aside to kind of make room for constant and continuous and what seems to be limitless new releases. Sometimes 5 to 6 collections being released all at one single time. And something has got to give. When we just seen all of last year's releases get thrown right into Coach Outlet for 60% off of retail prices, why is anybody gonna sit there and buy any of these bags at full price and at lesser quality? What we really want to see from Coach is them push the quality envelope, especially going into high-end luxury, or at least them attempting to, because if they broke into high-end luxury and they brought the quality with them to like the highest standard, we could be seeing Coach have like a massive resurgence. But what we're seeing is Coach pricing out its current customer base while trying to appeal to people that don't even want to look at Coach as a luxury brand itself. Instead of really breaking through and doing something that could really benefit the luxury community as well as its current offerings for the customers, whatever, they are kind of trying to do what the other high-end luxury brands are doing and raising prices while decreasing quality, while taking back certain specific things that really made the brand what it is today. But I really want to see them push where it needs to be pushed, because if not, then how can its customers justify buying these $1,000 bags? And you know what I mean? Like, we need more. We need better. Because if you want better, we need better. And without that, you're just going to keep continuing to throw your handbags at outlet and continuing to slash prices because no one's buying. We need y'all to listen, because we need the good leather. We need that good leather. We need the good steak. We need some sirloin steak, not the cheap cuts, not the stuff not hot dogs. We don't want hot dogs. We want sirloin steak. Please and thank you. And speaking of customers and employee interactions and stuff, which I have some good connections with people on Coach, like that's no lie, like at all. Like I get along with a lot of people that work at Coach, which is good for me, and but there is quite a few things that they aren't really willing to help you with, because the brand, which I understand, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit there and hate on the essays, I'm not going to sit there and do that, but I'm hating on the brand itself. I'm mad that we can't bring in a Coach outlet bag and try to get it fixed or cleaned or embossed or customized because it's Coach outlet. They don't want to sit there and see Coach outlet as a real Coach bag. You can't take your Coach outlet belt, go to Coach retail, and ask them to cut it for you, because they'll tell you no to your face. And I find that very bizarre when you take into fact that Coach retail will ship their retail bags to outlet to be sold at a discount. So why is it okay for the retail bags to be like, you know what I mean? Like, they treat outlet like a disease at the retail store, but they have absolutely zero problem sending retail bags to outlet. And you know what I mean? And even sometimes mixing the two together online, which is a new thing for them as well. So if you haven't noticed, I know I'm bouncing between point to point to point to point, but there is so much to cover here. And for my next point would be mixing retail and outlet bags online. And I don't know if it's necessarily a big problem in store, but I do know Coach outlet stores are now carrying Coach retail bags at full price. And for me, that is very bizarre. This is an outlet store. We should be seeing outlet prices and that kind of stuff. Like, it's just, if you hate outlets so much, why are you selling your Coach retail bags full price at outlet, trying to sell them off? Like, there's just so many questions I have behind the mindset of the people making these decisions. Because if I buy a Coach outlet bag, whether it be made in outlet or made for retail, I should be able to go to the Coach retail store, get them to emboss the tag, get them to cut the belt I want, get them, you know what I mean? Like, it should not be jumping through hoops. It shouldn't be an absolute denial of service when it is in fact your branded product. And again, that's not coming down to management. That's not coming down to stores associates. That's coming down to the brand and the rules that they have in place for their employees. And those employees have to follow them rules, otherwise Coach will fire them. And the fact that an employee can't sit there and make a customer happy makes me sick to my stomach, because I can't sit there and go up to a sales associate that I'm good friends with and ask her for help, because she or he will get fired if they do help me. That is considerably fucked up. And for that to be a threat to employees trying to help, that to me needs to stop. Like, that is very bizarre. I will no longer go and ask about getting my Coach bag like pinned or something. Like, I'm not going to ask, because it's always, no, we can't help you. It's always just something. And to have that kind of animosity towards your own customers is a very bizarre mindset to force your employees to get into. And lastly, before I start ranting my head off too much, we need to talk about Coach Re-Loved. As much as I love Re-Loved, there are incredible issues and flaws within the system itself. Whoever is pricing these handbags on Coach Re-Loved, you deserve jail. You deserve jail time. And for a very prime example for this is taking this Coach outlet. I'm 95% sure this is Coach outlet. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. This looks like a Coach outlet travel cosmetic case. All they did, I mean, which is probably like $80 max Canadian, max. They just sewed on Coach with like patchwork or something. They also added just a couple rinky-dink little tags on it. And they upscaled the price to $500 American. I literally have no words that are YouTube safe for this specifically. This is an absolute slap in the face. This isn't even a slap. You're literally horking back the biggest loogie possible, and you are spitting in your customers' faces, because this is bizarre. This is so bizarre. Again, I cannot sit here. I'm not going to sit here for long about it, because it does make me very angry to see this. And if you bought this, if anybody bought something like this, please, for the love of God, get your money back. Go get your money back. You got scammed. And that makes me sad to say, but there's no way ever in hell this is worth $500. This is like this is upsetting. This gives me a visceral reaction of like disgust and anger, because I'm like, where does this come from? Where do you get off pricing something so ridiculous? Like, so ridiculous. And something else that kind of falls into this pricing scam, if you will. I'm going to call it a scam, because that's kind of what it is. It feels like you're scamming your customers. We got this Coach Ombre Pillow Tabby 18. We all know these were slashed in price to probably 70% off. 70% off. 75 if you were lucky, because they needed to get rid of these, and fast. If you guys remember, the Coach Ombre collection was a massive failure for Coach. Not necessarily the people that loved it, but they really screwed over its customers. And another way that they're continuing to do so with that collection is by taking a bag that was literally being sold at $150 American, adding very tacky things to it, and then upselling it nearly upwards of $700 American. There is no words that can make, there's nothing that makes this acceptable. I'm sorry, but this is just not okay. I love Re-Loved. I love what they're doing. Like, I love the idea, I love the idea of it. But the way that they're implementing it is completely greed driven. There is no love for the craft. It is all money. I really feel like Re-Loved started off as a really amazing thing, and now they're phoning it in hardcore. And I guess it's a sign of the times, right? But at the same time, as a legacy leather brand, like, we should be really seeing so much better than this. And it literally breaks my heart because, again, this is my favorite brand. This is my favorite brand, period. As coming from somebody that loves the brand, this is not hate. This is constructive criticism. Please do not take this as hate. This is my favorite brand, and I really want to see them do better. I really would love to see them eventually push into high-end luxury, or even make their own high-end sub-label. That would be really cool to see, but as they're currently doing it, it's only going to drive them into the ground, much like Gucci has. I feel like Coach is going to quickly suffer the same fate as Gucci currently is, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and I just hope that somebody can correct it before it gets to the you can't turn it around point. But anyways, before we hop into my outfit of the day and Kittylicious moment of the day, if you guys love handbags, hauls, Coach, luxury, the whole lot of those, please hit the subscribe button if you are new. And if you guys enjoyed today's content, make sure you hit that like button, as it does help me know you enjoyed today's video. And it helps with that pesky YouTube. Ow. Go. Rhythm. You can check out the description box below for the 3 lucky links to my Instagram, Facebook, and Discord notification squad. As well, you can always support me and the channel directly by sending me a very generous super thanks donation. I love you all to the absolute moon and back, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!
There can be in one room. You know, there could be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you and just one does. I probably said this earlier, but you know, 100 people can be in a room and 99.
I think it was good.
I'm done. I'm done. No, show's over. Show's over.
See you next Taco Tuesday, bitch.